In this installment, we have a huge pivotal game 4 in Boston. The Golden State Warriors need to respond to the blowout performance of game 3. Will they? We're going to deep dive into that. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Friday night slate showdown NBA Finals Game 4 between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. Crucial Game 4. Will the Golden State Warriors bounce back from that horrible performance in Game 3? We will see, but before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD. Also, don't forget about the TikTok at chef_D91 as well. And don't forget about the Patreon. As you can see, the Patreon, we are putting great picks out there. As you can see, winning in previous last day, June 9th, we won June 8th. We've been winning pretty much each and every day. All right. If you want winning picks, if you want winning DFS selections, and we'll get to that very soon. You guys gotta sign up to the Patreon, and all those links are down below. Okay, as you can see, we had the Marlins, we had the Dodgers, we had the boost on there, which was Curry and Tatum to score over 25 points. We had the big one was right here, this 6-leg parlay that hit. Each of those teams came through. Great selections there. Put in some work. I'm very happy with what we saw from the past 2 days, and we're going to continue to keep things rolling. Okay, as well, if you guys watched that previous video, I had Marcus Smart as one of my top captain positions. I gave you Tatum, I gave you Curry, and then I gave you someone that was not going to be, someone that's going to be against the grain, and that was Marcus Smart, and he had his best game. As you can see, the number one lineup, the reason why they won is because they had Marcus Smart in that captain position. My lineup is on the left. It cashed, but number one, first place, was the Marcus Smart with Jaylen Brown, Horford, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and Robert Williams. Just a little bit of a different setup there. Went top heavy, and then I had to sacrifice at the bottom. Sometimes that works out, but in this one, it was more of the role players that came through, which I said in the video that the Celtics are home, the role players are going to show up. So you saw Marcus Smart, you saw Jaylen Brown, and you saw Al Horford, and you paired that with Robert Williams at the bottom. You had a great lineup. Okay, now let's get into this game 4 we got going on here. We're going to start out with the util position and then go over to the captain on Fanduel. Okay, now the first person we're going to look at for our DraftKings util position, guys, is going to be, unfortunately, Draymond Green. We understand all the stats, 15 points, 15 fouls, but for this team to be productive, for this team to get a win, they're going to need a virtuoso Draymond Green performance. As we saw in Game 2, he was definitely impactful on both sides of the ball. He came through with 9 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 block, and 1 steal in that game. He's going to have to do something similar to that. Definitely have to impact the ball on both sides of the court, and he's going to have to score more than 2 points. All right, they are pretty much daring him to shoot the ball. He has the ball in his hands a lot of the time when the Warriors are on the offense, running the post screens and the split screens that they do. And definitely he's the guy that's going to have to find other guys that will get open, either cutting to the basket or getting open at that 3-point line. So we can hopefully see more rebounds, more assists. And if we get 5, 6, 7, 8 points maybe, then we can be looking at a very good, solid util play that's going to give us around 30 fantasy points and above. Okay, he's very capable of doing that in the Dallas series. He almost got you there in Game 2. And with a hobbled Steph Curry, they're going to need a team effort. And that starts with Draymond Green, and we'll get to the other one later. So definitely like Draymond Green at the util position. The next guy we're going to look at, we're going back to the well with Marcus Smart. Boston is home. That means the role players are going to come through. Marcus Smart came through for us, 24 real points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Great performance there. 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. I was waiting for those threes to start clicking. In the first half, it didn't. In the second half, after that big Warriors comeback. Marcus Smart came up huge and hit some crucial threes. I think he's going to do the same performance, provide the solid assist numbers, get gritty down low and get some rebounds and chip in with points, okay? So definitely like Marcus Smart as a utility position. Next guy we're going to look at will be the veteran Al Horford. He knows that this is his opportunity to take over. In the first game, we saw him in Boston. It wasn't the 6-3 performance, but we saw him hustling, getting huge blocks, getting huge steals, and we saw those assist numbers go up. Okay, 3 is not the normal for Al Horford. He is heavily in this offense, and as you can see, those assist numbers. We had 5 assists in that Miami series. You can see more of a consistency there. It's usually around 3 to 5 each and every game. And you saw back-to-back games with 5. When you know that's happening, they're moving the ball well, guys are getting open, and they're making their shots. So we saw Al Horford with a very good performance, chipped in with 8 rebounds. Hopefully we can get more rebounds from him. He had a lot of bench time early in that fourth quarter. Came very late in that fourth quarter, around that 4-minute mark, and ended the game there. So maybe we can see a boost of minutes, hopefully in that 33 range instead of 30, and then we can get some more rebounds from him, some other peripherals. So definitely like Al Horford. Hopefully we get a double-double, and that will be another high for him in this playoffs. I mean, he came up strong in game 1, solid in game 3. Let's see if he can take it to another level in game 4. So definitely love Al Horford. Let's look at another position at the util spot. Is going to be Andrew Wiggins. All right, like I said, hobbled Steph Curry. They're going to need the cast and crew. Draymond, Wiggins has been the most consistent Warrior besides Steph Curry, and he had a nice performance. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. He did a little bit of everything, but it still wasn't enough. The Boston Celtics were clicking on all cylinders, but as long as we're getting a solid performance out of Andrew Wiggins each and every game, I am happy with that. 3 out of the last 4 games, we're getting right around 35 fantasy points and above. So that's going to be something solid to look for. Put him in our util spot and move on to some other positions, like I said. And as you saw in game 3, he was in that winning lineup. So definitely like Andrew Wiggins as a util position. The next guy we're going to look at a little bit cheaper down here is going to be Robert Williams. He has a Q tag, waiting on news about his knee. He should give it a go, but he has a very high impact rebounding and defensively with the blocks and steals. So in game 3, 8 points, almost got your double-double, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 3 steals. He really changes a lot of shots down low. And it really gets these guys flustered when they go into the basket, like Wiggins, Steph Curry, and even Klay Thompson when they're trying to take it to the rim. Robert Williams is there, and he's there to shot blocks, okay? He is an eraser. Definitely has the hops. Hopefully he's okay with his knee, and we can take advantage of his cheap price at $6,200. All right, next guy we're going to look at, and he's going to be more of the punt plays in that util position. First one is going to be Grant Williams. All right, Derek White, we've been talking about him, and I think it's changing over a little bit in this series. As long as Grant Williams stays out of foul trouble, they definitely need his size and shooting ability on the court at this time. And he's getting under Draymond's skin as well. They're going back and forth at it, so I like to see that as well. But Grant Williams is going to be key off the bench at $6,600. A lot of guys are going to go to Derek White, but I think he's still cheap enough, Grant Williams, that we can still see a ceiling game from him. He had 10 points, 5 rebounds in game 3. He definitely has another level to him. Hopefully we can get a game where it's 2, 3, 4 threes from Grant Williams. He was doing that in previous series against the Bucks and against the Brooklyn Nets. So I want to cash in that ceiling game. We already passed over the Derek White ceiling games. I think Grant Williams is going to be the bench guy that's going to step up in this game 4. So I like him at $6,600. The last guy we're going to look at at the util spot is going to be Otto Porter Jr. coming off the bench. They've been switching a lot, all right? They've been giving minutes to Gary Payton. They haven't given any minutes to Jonathan Kuminga, who could be a benefit, but he is young. So they've been leaning more to Bjelica and Otto Porter. Otto Porter has been the better option out of those two. He can knock down the three. He's been super consistent knocking down that three in this Boston series. As you can see, 4 or 5, 1 or 1, and 2 or 3 in the last 3 games. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Otto Porter. Hopefully we can get around the 20-minute mark yet again, and we can get some solid, cheap points at the bottom in our util spots with Otto Porter. I think he's the safest punt in pretty much in the whole game. If we're looking at both sides, we're looking at Peyton Pritchard and other guys like that. I think Otto Porter is the safest punt that you can go with at 7,200. So I like him at that util position. Let's go over to Fanduel and focus in on our captains. Right, the first one is going to be Steph Curry. Obviously, he's been super consistent in this series against the Boston Celtics. He's really trying to put the team on his back because it's really pretty much been him by himself. Okay. He does have a little knee issue. We saw it in that fourth quarter with Al Horford on his knee. Steph Curry, just a little bit hobbled, but he says he's going to play. So if he says he's going to play, he's in. He's going to give it his all. We could see a prime performance from Steph Curry. Just leave it all out on the court. So I'm liking him as a possible captain. The next captain we're going to look at is going to be Jason Tatum at 15,500. He's another solid option. He had his best game of the series in Game 3. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, and 1 steal. So he kind of combined the points with the assists. Hopefully we can get a really climax of the points performance, maybe a 30-40 point performance from Jason Tatum in Game 4. It'll be very intriguing to see. So he's going to be high on our list as the captains. Jaylen Brown is going to be a third captain. I have a fourth one for you, as you see right there. We'll get to him in a second. But Jaylen Brown, he could steal the MVP. If the Celtics win this NBA Finals, it could go to Jaylen Brown because he has been putting forth big performances. Game 1, he was huge. Game 2, he was huge. Took a seat back in Game 3 because of foul trouble, but came back at home. 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block. Super impactful. Took over that whole entire first quarter until Jason Tatum got started in that second half. But Jaylen Brown has been putting high impact in this Boston offense and really causing some trouble going up against the Golden State Warriors. They are having fits with him. And then last but not least, our captain will be Klay Thompson. All right, the Klay game, it was a solid game that he had in Game 3, but it still wasn't enough, which was shocking. Klay Thompson was hitting threes, Steph Curry was hitting threes, but the Golden State Warriors still fell short. They're going to need, literally, they're going to need all their casting characters to come through in this Game 4. I think this game is going to be tightly contested, come down late into that fourth quarter. It's going to come down is who's going to make the least mistakes and who's going to come up clutch. Klay has that opportunity to step up in this Game 4 and send this series tied 2-2 going back to Golden State. So I like him as our fourth captain in this video. A lot of people are just going to be like, all right, he had his game and move on. We're going to go back to the well, and we're going to play Klay again in Game 4 because he has to. They have to. You have a hobble Steph Curry. Klay has to show up. It can't just be Wiggins and then a bench guy. That is not enough to go up against the Boston Celtics. So Klay will be our final captain position in this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any other suggestions at util, at captain. Maybe you have another captain in mind that could be cheaper and you can really pay up at the other spots. Let me know in that comment section down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessageSD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out, guys.